while, but we are back. The podcast that does whatever it wants and obviously whenever it wants. I am Brian Noonan. With me, as always, the well coiffed, the always humble, the man who looks a little perplexed. It's Cody Gough. Hi, Cody.
Always. It's
Are
in
you
character for
perplexed?
me. Yeah. Hi, Brian. Tonight we have a huge show for you tonight.
Ooh.
I don't know if you heard, but we're recording this on Monday, November 27th, 2003. And CM Punk has returned to the WWE after a 9-year absence. We have
Finally.
a lot to say about that. Also on the docket, Brian has a show he wants to recommend. That should be fun. And I hope you are looking for show recommendations because that seems like the time to get one. Also on tonight's show, CM Punk is back in the WWE for the first time in 9 years. We'll talk about the implications of that.
Oh, there are
Also,
implications?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Brian also is like to call out the some PE class behavior, incredulousness, perhaps. Some brazen grade schoolers doing brazen things in
Brazen.
physical brazencation. And before we wrap up, we must talk about the fact that CM Punk has returned to the
Ooh.
WWE. Before maybe we'll also talk about, I don't know, I guess Thanksgiving happened. We could maybe talk
Yeah.
about that. It's fine.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's it. We'll start with our 5 second check-in. How are you today, Brian?
Thank you for asking, Cody. That's very lovely of you. I'm doing okay. I'm a tad fatigued, coming off a Thanksgiving break that was way too short. But I have just finished radio. I've poured myself a little cocktail, and it's crazy, but it's Monday night, and I'm having a cocktail. I'm doing okay. How about you?
What kind of cocktail are you having?
I have Jim Beam apple whiskey with some apple cider in it.
Oh, hell yes. Let's
Yes.
go, dude. I am having
Oh, what are you having?
from Revolution Brewing's Deepwood series, which is their barrel-aged beer program, Death by Cherries.
Oh, that
Oh,
sounds good.
the can is all metallic and, like, it's not very high contrast, so it's hard enough to read just in person and then, like, under a lot of lights like I have in my,
Right. Your Nook,
studio, but the
your
camera,
broadcast Nook.
camera's not gonna tell you anything. No, it's, Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels and cherries.
Ooh.
Probably like 15%. It's good. I do have to also shout out. So, at Fobab, if you watch the Fobab episode of our beer podcast, Crafty Brewers, Tales Behind Craft
Wait a
Beer.
minute. Do we have a beer podcast?
We do. New episode drops this Wednesday
Oh,
with the monkey one.
the monkey one.
The monkey one.
Brother Chimp?
Brother Chimp.
You mean?
Yeah. Really
Brother
fun
Chimp?
conversation. That new episode's this week. So we talked to a few people, including a brewer at Revolution Brewing, at Fobab. And this brewer, after we interviewed him, this was not on the actual episode, but after we had turned off the camera and stopped recording, he was like, "You're getting the Deepwood series this month, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he says, "This double barrel, the VSOD, very special old double, I don't know what it stands for, but it's called VSOD, a very special VSOD, and it's a double barrel one." And he was like, "It's the best beer we've ever done."
Wow.
And their marketing emails said it is. They were like, they really did pretty much say that.
Okay.
So I got a 4-pack, and I gave you one actually.
Right. I have not tried it yet.
Yeah, I actually got a couple 4-packs. So it is quite good. It
Okay.
is very boozy.
Nice.
So like, I think, I don't know, I gravitate toward a little bit sweeter, smoother malt, like milkshakey, right? And I like the Goose Island because they've got that, like, the heavy chocolate notes and the heavy
Right.
other stuff. This one is excellent. It is a very good beer, but it is very boozy. So
All right.
if you got to be in the mood for like tasting alcohol, Brian,
I'm always in the mood for tasting alcohol. Let's
For
not
sure.
let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's not be Pollyanna about this. We'll get right to it.
Yeah. So that one's very special VSOD. And then Mike asked, what was the Revolution beer I have again? Tonight I'm drinking Death by Cherries, DETH. This one aged in bourbon barrels with sherry. This one is on the sweeter side, which is why I opted for it tonight. But it's good.
I got to tell you, I've been drinking a new amber that I really enjoy.
Ooh.
Grumpy Geezer Amber Ale. It is brewed by a novice brewer on the northwest side of Chicago, aged in his bathroom, and it turned out pretty good. My beer.
Just a friend of yours?
Huh?
A friend of yours?
No, it's mine. It's the beer that I made.
Oh, that's your beer that you made.
My beer, yeah. So I'll have to give you some. It's actually like I was worried that maybe it wouldn't carbonate or something. It pours with a fizz. There's one of them. I got a real nice head. I think it's the glasses. It's not the beer. It looks beautiful. It tastes like an amber ale. I'm like, oh, pretty good. Pretty good. If I may address this, Barbara said, checked TMJ at 6:15. You weren't on. Yeah, there's been some changes there. My show now comes on at 7. I don't. We'll just leave it at that. I'm on at 7. And so yeah, come back at 7, Barbara. Next Wednesday, I'll be on Wednesday and Friday this week after tonight. So 7:00. That's when you'll catch me. Yeah. No. That's how things. So, all right. So the revolution you gave me is the boozy one, which sounds good. Other than that, are you okay? We know you're drinking.
Yeah.
Are you on any edibles tonight?
No. Usually after I have any amount of alcohol, I turn to that. So probably halfway into the show, I'll indulge, but we'll see.
I'm going to, we have a new edible in the house. It is, what is it? Extra strength or something. There's a thing on there that says extra potent where you're only supposed to take a half because a full one has the THC of a half one has the THC of a full other ones that we've had. It's by Wild. Wild is the company.
Yeah.
Like a boysenberry kind of thing. And Debbie's had some back pain. So she took half of one last night, and she said it relaxed her nicely. And then she said she slept through the night. I'm like, oh, well, then I'm going to have to try one of these. We'll see. Because, again, the edibles have never done anything for me in the past. This one says highly potent or something. It makes it sound on the box like it's, hey, this is not your regular edible. This is because even my brother who runs a shop where they sell them, and I'll give him a shout out. If you're up in Niles, Michigan, you got to go to, oh my gosh, something farms. What's the name of his farm? Oh no, I'll get it.
Golden? Isn't it Golden something?
No.
Oh my gosh. No, this happens to me sometimes. I have procured product from this establishment.
Southland Farms.
Right.
Niles, Michigan. They carry their own organic cannabis, but then they're now carrying, these are organic edibles, and the company is from Michigan, Wild. And so he was like, just do half. Don't do a whole one. So there you go. I'll let you sample next time I see you.
Okay. I'm down.
All right.
I'm down.
Not pushing. All right. Where should we start? You mentioned, is there a wrestling thing? I from your lead in, I kind of got there was something going on that's been almost a decade in the making.
Yeah.
Is The Rock back?
Bigger, I would argue.
Did Hulk Hogan win the WrestleManias?
Oh boy. No,
bigger than The Rock. Did John Cena get new jorts?
He did not. Are you aware that I was there on Saturday?
No.
I was there on Saturday.
Oh, wait a minute. You've already had a CM Punk sighting at another event that you went to where you got ice cream. Did you get a treat this time? This was what, War of the Worlds? What was this one called?
Survivor
Attack of the Jedi?
Series. No. So, okay. So every year WWE does a pay-per-view every month. They call them premium live events.
Oh.
Because you just get them with Peacock, the streaming service.
Okay.
So you're not paying per view, right? It's streaming. So, but
gotcha.
And a pay-per-view would be like the Royal Rumble, everyone's heard of, WrestleMania, a couple other ones, SummerSlam, and then Survivor Series. This is actually one of those are the big four. Like
Right.
pretty much the biggest one's WrestleMania, Royal Rumble's right behind it, and then SummerSlam, and then Survivor Series. So it's a top 4 pay-per-view, and it was in Chicago at Rosemont in the Allstate Arena, close to my house. I'm in the western suburbs. And it's so funny because the reason we went was because some of my friends, you know, the whole psychedelic thing, there are all those specials that Netflix had, like Fantastic Fungi and all those
Oh,
other
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
So my friends and I, a couple of my friends and I started a little text group. We were like, man, if we got some mushrooms, where should we go? And we're like,
To bed.
they're legal in Oregon, so whatever. So we're brainstorming and you know, I'm like, oh, you get a cabin, go to, you know, what's that place down south
The
in
Grand
Illinois?
Canyon. Mexico.
In Illinois.
Down south. The Garden of the Gods.
No, the place with the rocks. There's a rock, Starved Rock.
Starved Rock isn't in southern Illinois. Starved Rock is west in Ottawa.
Is
Starved
it
Rock, you could go to Giant City State Park. There's rocks and cliffs down there.
there's a place, it doesn't matter. But you whatever, cabin in Wisconsin or that lake, go somewhere, go in nature,
Sure.
right? And then I'm like, what about a concert? What if we all went to like Pearl Jam or something? You
Or
know?
fish.
Dude, fish is where you're supposed to do it. Fish, you could probably just go and they'll give it to you, right?
How about Trans-Siberian Orchestra? That
Oh,
is
dude.
up. You'd be whacked. Ah!
So my friend just realizes that Survivor Series is in Chicago and goes, let's go to Survivor Series. And so the initial idea was at least one or two of them wanted to do a bunch of shrooms and go to a WWE event.
All right.
Now, this is not what happened. None of us did shrooms.
Okay.
We bought these tickets like 6 months ago, right? And a crazy series of events happened, and it ended up being one of the biggest nights in pro wrestling, basically in the last like 20 years, for just one specific reason, and that CM Punk came back. But if you rewind, when we bought the tickets, a lot of us were AEW fans, where Punk was when we bought the tickets. Punk was
Okay.
wrestling in AEW. We're like, whatever, we'll go to this WWE show. 3 months ago, 3 months ago, he gets fired from AEW from a backstage altercation.
Right. I remember you telling me about the altercation.
Which was stupid. And then he did like some UFC commentary. He's done a couple of gigs since then, and he would joke about how he doesn't
So wait,
have.
did it ever come out? Because obviously a lot of people thought that was a work when he got fired for some altercation. It obviously was not. What did he do backstage?
Oh God.
If it's too convoluted, you don't have to say.
It's not very convoluted, but basically there's a young Punk.
Not a CM Punk.
Not a CM Punk, a young Punk, which is not the kind of Punk you want.
Right.
There's this it's actually Luke Perry's son. Remember Luke Perry?
I do, from 90210, the man with the sideburns, tragically dead. R.I.P.
Yeah. So his real life son, Jack Perry, is a wrestler in AEW.
Okay.
He's actually pretty good. So they were Jack Perry was on the pre-show at All In, which was a pay-per-view at Wembley Stadium in
Ooh.
London.
That's big.
In fact, it was the most tickets sold for a live wrestling event ever.
Okay.
It has the world record because it's at Wembley, which is
Sure.
the biggest stadium. And so, of course, they had this AEW had this gigantic event, and Jack Perry's on the pre-show, and he wanted somebody to drop him through the windshield of a car.
Okay.
Now, that's fine. That's wrestling. The problem is
it though?
it's not, because the problem is that in order to do that safely and not like shorten your career or like lacerate yourself badly,
Right.
you need sheet glass, or you need like prop glass.
Yeah, like they do in the movies.
Right, fake glass. Well, they didn't have fake glass because no one knew he wanted to go through the dashboard of like a Bentley or whatever it was. So they're like, we can't do that. And so the CEO of the company is like, you can't do that. He's like, I'm going to do that. Some other guy is backstage.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, they just go, you can't do that. And then somebody apparently was like, hey, Punk, can you tell him not to do this? So Punk goes, and he's like, please don't do this. And he's like, whatever. So the guy goes on air. He gets put through the windshield of the car. And right before or right after it, he looks at the camera and grabs the camera and goes, real glass, cry me a river, and points at the thing and then goes through the windshield or whatever. So the match ends, and he's walking backstage, and he's injured, but he's fine. And no one knows if he got in Punk's face or Punk got in his face, but Punk was first on the card, so they had to walk right by each other. Right? He's exiting. Punk is up next. It's you're in the green room, right? Or you're in the gorilla position is what it's called. So apparently then there was an altercation. No one really knows what happened. It was brief, and then Punk went out, did his match, went back, and then he left.
Oh no! You froze up. Oh, Cody has frozen. Right at the crucial part of the story where we're learning what CM Punk did to get fired from AEW, bringing him back to the World Wrestling Federation. In the meantime, I will I'm up there. He left. Cody left. Now I see him back. We're gonna let me see. Should I bring him back? Should we teach him a lesson about bad internet? No, of course not. Here's Cody. Hi, what happened? Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I don't know why that. It said connection lost, but my internet was at full bars.
Yeah, you froze up. All right, so you froze up when you said that so CM Punk went out, he did his match, then he came backstage. And then nobody knows who got in whose face.
At some point, Tony Khan, the CEO of AEW, he was either threatened or yelled at or something and said that he felt unsafe, and so he fired Punk.
So did Punk feel, in fact, the wrath of Khan?
Wow. I'm gonna let that
pleased with myself.
Gonna let that. I'm ecstatic about that.
Pleased with myself.
So this was not a work,
right.
But a lot of criticism on AEW because none of this should have happened. They shouldn't employ people that refuse to do what they're told and then yell at the camera at the biggest show in history of wrestling. And then fire Punk, your top guy, the top star by a million miles, right? So he's gone. And then in the months since, there's been immediately, a week later, WWE released a statement. They're like, yeah, Punk approached us and we're not interested. Every wrestling journalist gets this news. They're like, okay, no more Punk rumors. Got it. What you need to know about CM Punk, if you don't know anything about wrestling, is that 9 years ago, he walked out of the company, walked out straight up, just quit, disappeared for months, even though
the company being WWE.
Walked out of WWE, was silent for months, went on a podcast and just railed, just eviscerated them. Horrible management, abused his body, treated him unfairly, all this stuff. I mean, he set fire to this company. He tried to tear it down, right? So he's trashing Triple H, who is right now the COO or something. He went after WWE, and it was on no uncertain terms. He hates this company and everything associated with it. So fast forward to now, he does AEW for a couple of years. That doesn't go real well. Gets in some fights backstage, gets fired. And this all happens, and then it culminates with the last 3 weeks. People have been teasing what would happen at Survivor Series, and random stuff would happen, Brian. So Punk posted an Instagram story that used the theme song to War Games.
The movie War Games with Matthew Broderick?
No, to War Games, the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view.
Okay.
Also good reference. Wow. But Friday, Living Color released a 2023 remaster of Cult of Personality, which is CM Punk's theme song.
Oh.
So that was the biggest tell. So, all right, so fast forward to the event is no longer we're going to some random wrestling show we don't care about and maybe going to do psychedelics at it. Now the story is let's all get drunk and have a good time and maybe CM Punk will show up. There's the man.
CM Punk.
So thank God I had 5 friends that like barrel-aged beer because we went through so much barrel-aged beer.
Before you went to the event?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. We pregame. Are you kidding? Dude, I got 2 beers, a hot dog, and a popcorn, and it was $72.
What?
Yeah.
That's why I don't leave the house.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was good. So, wow. So we all pre-gamed, had a bunch of beers, ended up going, and at the conclusion of so there's CM Punk chants intermittently throughout the night. Yeah. And some people would start the chant and other people would boo because some people are over it now. They're over him. And they finished the main match, and the cage is like going up, and all the stars are doing their bows and stuff, and the trademark logo shows up on the screen, so it looks like they're ending the pay-per-view, right? Like
Right.
that little trademark logo the copyright 2023 WWE logo goes up, and it zooms out, and it's got the big wide camera shot. And the guy next to me, my friend's friend that joined us, he's like, we gotta go beat traffic, which is
Oh, no.
stupid.
Don't
Because we're
beat
gonna order
traffic.
an Uber and there's 30,000 people that like what this is not we're not leaving early. We're in the upper deck. Like
Was this a
no.
United Center?
Is it the Allstate Arena?
Oh, and that's the worst place to try to get out of anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I'm like, "We'll walk a mile and get an Uber. It doesn't matter. Like, let's just wait." And he was really pissing me off. And we're standing there, and I was finally just like, "Please shut up. I don't wanna hear it." And we're standing there,
I just
and
spent
it's
$72 on a hot dog.
dude, it's like a minute of everybody bowing and stuff, the logo's up, and then CM Punk's music hits, and the place just goes nuclear. Just like he didn't even say anything. He just walked out. And the place, I mean, everyone. There were people behind me. I was wearing a Punk shirt. There were people behind me heckling me during the show at
Oh.
various points. They'd be like, "Oh, your boy's not going to show up," or whatever. Afterwards, people are high-fiving me. They're just like, even the guys behind me, they're like, "Man, I bet you're happy. Oh, man, what a night." It doesn't matter if you loved or hated him. Everybody was like, "We just saw CM Punk come back." This is like hell actually freezing over, Brian.
Okay.
Like, and he's probably cutting a promo right now as we record this because Raw is on and he's scheduled to be there and talk. So as soon as we're done recording, I'm immediately pulling up YouTube and rewatching the last hour of Raw. But it was a
Well,
big
you used a phrase, hell freezing over. Triple H posted on X or Twitter. Uh, yeah, what do they say? X, formerly Twitter. I say Twitter, now X. Um, with his arm around Punk, and it just said a cold day in hell.
yeah.
So, well, this is exciting news. You must have been beside yourself.
Dude, I'm still over the moon about it. It's
Rank it in
amazing. Can
terms
I tell
of
you though,
the birth of your children. Where does it fall? Be
it's
honest.
just below the second
Just below the
child.
second. Well, she's very lovely.
Yeah.
She's very lovely, but she beat out CM Punk, so that's good.
Can I
You
show
can show
you
me whatever you need to show me.
I'm gonna show you the most
Oh my
impressive part of
God.
the night.
The bill for that
And
hot dog?
you're gonna have share the screen. So the plan was to feed my friends before we went, and so we had the bourbon barrel aged beer, and my wife set up a charcuterie
Charcuterie? I
board.
love it.
Wait till you see this charcuterie board. Please
Oh,
pull up the
all right,
screen.
yes.
She bought a toy WWE ring,
Oh.
coated it with plastic wrap, put crackers and brie. There's a Stone Cold Steve
Does he have
Austin action
prosciutto?
figure holding up prosciutto and the WWE Championship. Mankind is holding a cheese knife on a cutting board. There's a table.
With crackers?
Bray Wyatt is driving a tractor holding a bunch of grapes
Nuts in
and
the
a
back?
bowl of
Oh, God.
nuts. And then later we broke the table and then put the cheese and salami. So so amazing.
Oh. That is the best charcuterie board ever.
You gotta watch this episode on
Oh,
Spotify, like, for the
oh my
video. Oh my
God.
do we can you
Oh, you froze up again. That is the best charcuterie board ever. I'm going to let me pull you off, and I'm going to see if you can refresh, and then so refresh and come back. I love it. I love that. Oh, can we go through and see all the pictures? No. All right. Yeah, that is classic. That is classic. I like a good charcuterie board. I was picturing it just like in the WWE logo. This is very elaborate. You got the ring. I like that Stone Cold Steve Austin, no beer, but he's got prosciutto. Are you back? Let's see if Cody's back. Nope, he's gone. I don't know what's going on with his internet tonight. All right, we'll take the charcuterie off. There you go. Here's Cody. There you are. Nope, he's gone. Hold on. There you are. Hi.
Hi,
You're
thank you.
back.
I did it.
You're back. Mike wants to know if your son lent you that tractor. That didn't look. That was the only thing that didn't look WWE approved, despite its driver. Was that stolen from your son and repurposed for the charcuterie board? Oh my God, he's frozen again. At least this freeze is better. I'll have to take a screenshot of that. I don't know what's going on with Cody's end of the internet tonight, but all right. Well, I will. While we're doing this, at Gina, I'll ask Gina. I'll ask Gina. I'll ask Cody when he comes back. If he comes back, this may all be a ruse for him to drink more of that barrel aged Revolution. That's why he's out goofing around doing stuff like that. Well, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. We had a nice Thanksgiving, I guess. Molly was not here. Molly and her boyfriend traveled with a group of friends up to they had a cottage in Minnesota, so they were up there. So we didn't get to spend the day, but we did get to help her. I like that I've gotten to the point now in my life where I am the guy who loans stuff. I used to borrow things from my parents, so now Molly will call and go, "Hey, can I borrow the big cooler? And can I borrow some folding chairs? And can I borrow this?" So, yeah. So she took all that, and Walter, of course, stayed here. And so we were going to meet let's see. We're going to try it again. There he is.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh my God, you froze again. You got half a word out and you froze. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know what's going on. This is so weird. We've never had this issue before. This is another good freeze shot of Cody. Usually when he freezes, his face is all goofy. I'm gonna log him out. Let's send him a message. I don't know, Mike. I think Cody might be on dial-up. Cody may be dialing up today because either that or somebody has eaten something is eaten through his fiber optic cable, and I don't think he knows it. He's probably talking to me and going, why is Brian not listening to me? Why isn't he answering anything I say? Why is he hogging all the attention? We went to the country club. My brother and his girlfriend are members of a country club. And so I went last year because Debbie and Molly were sick, so I went by myself. But this year, Debbie and I went, and 3 of my 4 brothers were there, which was nice, and my 4 nieces were all there, and my sisters-in-law. So it was very nice, and my mom was there. The thing is, like at the country club, it's all very fancy. I had to get dressed up and wear a suit and blah blah. Anyway, you get there and the deal is they bring the turkey right to your table and they carve it right there and they bring out all the sides and it's very delicious. They also have like a little buffet with the appetizers and they went all out. They had scallops and they had crab claws and they had lobster tail, little bite-sized lobster, like a lobster tail that had been cut into about 12s. And then shrimp and all that stuff, salads and stuff. So we got there and hi, Cody. Hi. Okay, you got more than one word out this time. That's good.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
What happened?
Windows.
I
have a MacBook Pro. Or no, yeah, it's not an Air. It's not an Air. Maybe it's a Pro.
I have a Dell. Do you have a Dell?
I have a MacBook I use for work more than 40 hours a week. It has never, ever once in years. In fact, the MacBook Pro I had for Discovery before this, never in 5 years or however long I lived at this house, have I randomly disconnected any of my MacBooks. And I have we call it the sticker laptop. It's my old MacBook. We have another old production MacBook. I've gone through like 6 MacBooks in this house. None of them have ever randomly disconnected from the internet. Ever. My phone does not randomly disconnect from the internet, ever. My TV does not randomly disconnect from the internet, ever. Only the 2 machines I have with Windows 10 and Windows 11 randomly disconnect.
Wow. Oh, no. And they just did it again. Oh, my God. I don't mean to laugh, but I must laugh because I can only imagine the fury that is going on with Cody right now. He has got to be livid. Almost as livid as my mom on Thanksgiving. How'd you think? This is where Cody would go, nice segue, Brian. I'd say, thank you. Because the deal is that, hold on, let's see. Nope, now it's just black. So the deal with I told you they're supposed to bring out the turkey. So, oh man, Ken, I have to teach tomorrow morning. I can't be doing that many shots. I've already got a cocktail, so that's about enough. Well, we'd been there for about an hour and a half, and we had enjoyed the appetizers. We'd had the I feel bad. I ate a lot of crab claws. A lot of crabs lost their claws for my enjoyment. But it's an hour and a half now, and we had yet to get our turkey. All right. If you're listening, give me a thumbs up. Cody is back. It looks like he's in a different location. He does not look happy. Should we try it? Let's try it. Let's see what Cody is in a different location. The dragon has made an appearance, which we all know is always fun when the dragon makes an appearance.
The dragon's supposed to have a Santa Claus hat on. I apologize. That is
well, we can't see his head.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yes, you can. That's his head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got it. It's the holiday season.
Yeah. Here we go.
This is the extent of Cody's decorating for the holidays. When he decorates the dragon. Usually he has ABC there. This is like when they light the trees. This is when Cody puts the hat on the dragon. That's usually a big celebration in the neighborhood.
It's huge.
It looks good. So I think it was hilarious that you were just in the middle of blasting Windows 10 and 11 when it cut you off again.
Mm-hmm. I am so pissed about this. So I am now on my work laptop at my work desk. This is where I take work meetings, which is less fun than being in my well-lit closet over there with a remote control light that I can turn on from here. See how pretty that is? It's fun to stand in my fun little closet with my nice microphone, but Windows can suck a D. And instead, I get to stand in my workspace with my work things and all my work paperwork.
That's not a good work-life balance.
And you know what?
Cody.
I swear to God, the internet's not going to hiccup a single time on this laptop. And I'm not a Mac guy. I'm not like one of these like, oh, I'm going to wait in line for the iPhone. Like, I don't care. All right. But what I do like is a computer that works. And in 20 years of podcasting, the Windows machines I have used have all given me problems. I did 1,000 episodes of my podcast for Discovery, 1,000, and I never had an issue on a MacBook Pro. So Windows can suck it. I'm very annoyed. It is not my internet. My router is great. My internet is very fast. I have gigabyte internet. My computers all work, and I generally know what I'm doing. But Windows 10/11 is idiotic. And if anyone knows how to fix it from just randomly dropping, that would be great. I won a brand new gaming PC that is in my wife's library that is close to our router. And I could not get more than like maybe 56K dial-up modem speeds when it was brand new out of the box. And I had to restart it and reconfigure my Wi-Fi settings like 16 times before I finally got it to download. And now it downloads. I think I downloaded a game that was like 80 gigabytes in like 15 minutes or something like that. Like an insanely fast speed. So it's all Windows. I am blaming Windows. Mike in the chat saying Windows 11 is a POS. My work laptop is junk since the update. I don't know what it is, but it almost happened to me during an interview earlier today, where I was like introducing myself to the CEO of an entrepreneur tech startup that operates in San Francisco and Sydney, Australia, and she was like, "Yeah, I record remotely. I don't run into issues." I'm like, "Cool, good talk." All right, I'm done venting. Sorry. I hate having tech. I hate when tech doesn't work. I hate it. This episode of Crafty Brewers this week, I was editing the audio and video, and the audio and video are out of sync. So like that's a thing I have to deal with now, where there's an hour of like video, but the audio is like an hour and 1 minute because it recorded at a different bit rate.
Okay.
So there's a slight drift. And so now I have to learn a whole new set of audio editing tools and video editing tools to get it to sync throughout. So like when little things like that go wrong, I want to like throw a brick through a window. When things go fine, they're fine. Like when I used to have tech issues at work when I was in an office, I would like loudly swear and like almost hit computers and probably almost get fired. So what were you talking about?
I was talking about Thanksgiving, and we're just about to the part where my mom was very disappointed because I was saying we went to the country club, and so part of the deal is they would bring the whole turkey to your table, and then they bring all the sides, and they carve the turkey right next to the table. Oh, blah, blah, blah. That's what we've all seen turkeys carved before. So we'd been there an hour and a half, and while we had enjoyed the appetizers and the salads at the buffet, an hour and a half, that's enough. So the waitress came over, and they seemed very overwhelmed.
Wait, the waitress? You were out for Thanksgiving?
Yes, we were at the country club.
Oh,
yes. My brother and his girlfriend are members of a country club, and so they used to host Thanksgiving, but then they moved to Michigan to start selling weed, and so now they don't have a house here; they live in Michigan. So, 3 of my brothers, my mom, were all there, and my wife, my sisters-in-law, my nieces. And the waitress comes over an hour and a half. And she says, "Hey, who's in charge here?" And I like being in charge, but I was not. So she said to my brother's girlfriend, well, here's the deal. We're running very behind. And if you want us to carve the turkey right at your table, it's going to be about 25 more minutes. Or we could bring you out food right now. We'll just have them cut a turkey in the back, and we'll bring it out to you right now. And I'm praying, please, God, just because now I've been sitting in this place for an hour and a half. I had budgeted out like 2.5 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours for the whole Thanksgiving thing. I wanted to get out there, see everybody, blah, 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 have some food, come on home. Now this is good. So then I'm like, please. And one of my brothers is sitting next to me. He goes, Ma really wants to see the turkey carved. And I'm like, Ma has seen hundreds of turkeys carved. We got to eat. Thankfully, the powers that be sided with me. I didn't say anything. I didn't cause a scene. I'm like, I'm a guest. I'm going to be quiet, but God almighty, let's eat. My nieces were like gnawing on their knuckles like jackrabbits caught in a trap because they were so hungry. Everybody was hungry, but my mom wanted to see a turkey carved. Now, I'm an elderly gentleman.
You're not.
All right. I'm old enough to know that my whole life growing up in our house, we always had turkey for Thanksgiving. Most of the time we had turkey for Christmas, and then we'd have like 1 turkey during the year. That's 3 turkeys. My mom has seen well over 150 turkeys carved in front of her. Plus, she was around a lot longer than I was. So she saw turkeys carved at her own house. And she's like, well, so they decided to bring the food. And then she's like, well, I really am disappointed that I didn't get to see the turkey carved. I'm like, are you out of your mind? I said, tomorrow I'll go to Costco. I'll get a roast chicken. I'll bring it over to your house and I'll cut it up in front of you if you really want to. But this is out of hand. She just, just stop it, Mike. There's no ham on.
That was hilarious, Mike.
There's no ham. Why would blech? Stop it.
He said you should have had them slice a ham for you instead, and I approve of that comment.
No ham ever. But overall, Thanksgiving was fine. And then, then we get home. And now that it's dark early, we got home at like 5:30 and it felt like midnight. And I was like, all right, that's just about enough. Oh, no, now you're putting up a white screen in front of you?
I got a ring light.
Is it backwards? Oh, there you go. Now
There.
you're lit up.
Now I look a little more creepy.
Just a little bit. Yeah, you look like I'm watching the video from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. Here we go.
Are you gonna dance?
What were you saying?
Yeah, you're creepy. So that was my Thanksgiving. Did you guys head north for Thanksgiving?
North.
Mm-hmm.
Rockford's
North, your
west.
homeland.
Rockford's west.
North and west. It's not directly west of you. You got to go north.
Mostly north.
Right, mostly north.
I mean, mostly what? Doesn't matter.
Right. Let's get into a geography kerfuffle now.
Not after my showing just now. Yeah. Went to Rockford and had a lovely meal. My parents, it's heaven at my parents' house. The Christmas tree,
beautiful.
My mom's Christmas tree looks better than the one in Rockefeller Center. I will fight you. It is so good. Like,
she had it up before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Well, my parents are they clean. They're getting older and moving a little slower. I don't believe it. I think they're still quite spry.
They seem spry every time I see them.
But I mean, they have a big house and
Right.
They have a lot of bins and there's a lot of going up and down the stairs. And
yes,
I mean, the care that my mom takes in like putting together everything. I mean, like the Christmas tree, like there's like 10,000 strings of lights or whatever. And then she does all the ribbons, and then she does all the little sprigs of like the cherries and things, and then she does all the like balls,
wow,
just the ornaments, and then she does then the wreaths have like feathers in them, like pheasant feathers, and they look really, it's gorgeous, it's unbelievable. So it was fully decked for the holidays at Thanksgiving. Beautiful. All my siblings were there. All of my siblings had just like either bought or remodeled a house or flown abroad. Like my brother had just gotten back from Egypt.
Wow.
So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We're just hanging out. See, if it had been a few days later, I could have told him I saw CM Punk come back to WWE.
How would that have stacked up against going to Egypt or remodeling or buying a house?
Significantly better.
Really? Okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, Cairo, it might be tied. My sister went to Rome. Ooh. That one, no, CM Punk. I've been to Rome. CM Punk can beat that.
Okay.
All right.
And how did your offspring enjoy their holiday?
They did. It was Paris, not Rome. Paris is not Rome.
Paris is not Rome.
No. Again, on the
Paris
geography.
Is Paris.
Yeah,
it's in France.
I'm not doing well on the geography.
Rome is in Italy.
It is.
Rockford is north and west
of Italy.
Of you. And me, technically.
The kids love the holiday. It's that time of year. You probably know this, Brian. Where just the kids, one or both of the kids are always sick.
Yes, of course.
And like, but the thing is, my kids, like, I'll tell people my kids are sick. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I'm like, "But they're not. Like, they feel fine." Like my son had to stay home from daycare for a week because there was a new strain of hand, foot, and mouth disease. And they found like a tiny little
blister. Didn't he already have hand, foot, and mouth disease?
No, his sister had hand, foot, and mouth
disease. His sister.
Right? He didn't, but like when she had it, she had a fever for like a day and then felt fine, but still had to stay home for a week. When he had it, he had like a little blister on his lip. And then like we had to keep him home for a week and he had no other symptoms. He felt fine. So like I always tell people, I'm like, my kids, like, they're not sick. They're not like, they feel
sickly. They're not.
Yeah, they're not like, I feel bad sick. They're like, I'm not allowed to go to daycare sick.
Okay.
Which is different.
Yeah. You're protecting the populace, Cody. You're being responsible.
I guess. They would just send them home. And since daycare's a 30-minute drive, it's a lot easier to not drive there, pretend things are fine, and then get a call 5 minutes later, or have him just say, "No, you're not allowed in."
You're not allowed in. That's going to scar a child who's used to going to their friendly daycare where they see their friends and their happy teachers, and they're, "No, you're not coming in. You're barred." What? You're banned. Get out. Tell your story walking, Punk.
Yeah, not CM Punk though. To
Not
be fair,
CM Punk.
who I saw return to WWE live at the Allstate Arena.
That's got to be what, 9 years?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
He's probably cutting a promo right now.
Well, listen, we'll cut this thing short so you. We'll get.
I'm gonna watch it on YouTube. I'm not gonna join him mid promo. You know what I could do? I could, in fact, pull up an illegal streaming site, stream the promo on my other monitor with my MacBook, and still maintain a perfect connection with you on my MacBook because it's not running Windows 11. Wow. Suck it, Bill Gates. Suck it hard. Am I allowed to say that? It's 2023. Am I allowed to say that?
Suck it hard?
Yeah.
I guess. We'll find out when we're bounced off all the platforms.
That's fine. Bill Gates.
Have you decorated your mom? Your mom's house is all decorated. Are you decorated?
Am I all decorated? Yeah. We put there's 100 Christmas decorations, right?
Okay.
To have decorated the house, you only really need 60.
Okay.
So are we at capacity with having put up all the decorations we have? No. Is every room decorated? Do we have the outside lights? The outside lights are up.
Oh, that's good.
I want
to step ahead of me on that.
Well, but I want really?
Yeah, I haven't done the outside is Saturday.
See, I did it the Sunday before Thanksgiving because it was 60 outside. Was
smart.
Yeah, well, but I want to put 2 more strings up because I think it looks incomplete, even though it's done. I could walk away and say it's fine,
no, you can't.
But I will probably put up another couple strings. The Christmas tree had the lights on as of Friday, but today I was home. My kid was homesick from daycare, and he said, "Can we put ornaments on it?" And I go, "Sure." So now there's ornaments on it,
nice.
which is not a requirement of the Christmas tree.
Oh no, you don't put ornaments on it?
Usually we do.
Okay.
But we also have a 1-year-old who I think she took her first step today.
Ooh.
She's
towards the tree to wreck an ornament?
Exactly, right? If she's going to rip down the lights anyway, I don't want to put
ready.
I don't want to have ornaments falling all over too. So
I think for a young lady just learning to walk, stepping on broken glass is an important lesson. That's why the state took Molly for 6 years.
And that's why we're only asking for shoes for her birthday. hard sold shoes.
Very nice. Yeah, we Friday we did not, day after Thanksgiving, I had the radio, but we started to prep. We had to do all this pre-decorating cleaning. So by we, I mean Debbie doing a lot of it. For some reason, she wanted to wash the walls. I don't know why. So she's washing the walls. Then she's down on her hands and knees doing the baseboards. And I was like, listen, Cinderella, if we put up enough stuff, nobody's looking at the baseboards. You just, but no, I'm like, okay. So I was up working. I was up here doing the show and she did that. But then Saturday we started. And you're exactly right about the percentages because Saturday I got the 2 trees up and they came lit, but we got a new tree for the family, for the living room. So it took longer to get set up. And then we got, I would say by Saturday night when we finally quit, we were at 70% indoor decorating. Where if God forbid I drop dead, the house would still look nice for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Which is how I look at pretty much everything. So, but then Sunday, we worked all day too. So now the inside of the house is complete. And all I have to do is the outside.
Nice.
And for a moment, I debated not doing the outside. Because I was like, well, the outside's for other people. And I don't care about other people. The inside is for us and anybody we invite into our home. But that's not going to go. So I was looking, I did what I usually do is I'm looking at the calendar and watching the weather reports. And they said Saturday, it's going to be in the mid 40s and no rain. Mid 40s, no rain. That's fine. That's good. That's good decorating weather. So I'll get the outside done on Saturday, and then I still got to do my ma's house. So,
All right.
I'll get that all done. But we're ahead of schedule. It's only what's today, the 27th of November. The inside of my house is all done. I got a month of enjoying this Christmas. We bought a new tree that has a remote control, so you can change the lights.
Oh,
It's like disco tree at some point. It has clear lights and then multicolor lights, and you can have either one of them flashing. So every once in a while, and Debbie hates it. Debbie hates when I do disco tree. But we'll just be sitting there and I'll go, disco tree, and I'll press the remote, and suddenly the lights start flashing. And she's had 3 seizures since we put the tree up, which is excellent.
nice.
And then it'll soft fade and then come back up. It'll go from clear to multi. It'll stay solid multi or solid clear. It disco trees in both the multi and the clear. So Molly came over to pick up Walter today. I go, did you see the tree? She goes, yeah, it's a nice tree. I go, did you see all the light? No. I said, oh, well, you got to see disco tree. And so I read, and she's like, why does it have a remote? I go, because if not, I'd have to walk over to the foot pedal. That's no fun. Now I can sit in the chair and I have a couple Christmas cocktails, and I can change the tree to whatever I want it to be. I could have multiple personality Christmas this year. Maybe one personality just likes clear lights. All right. What if those clear lights just faded down and faded back up? Yeah, personality 2. That would be fun too. Hey, man, how about you do disco tree? All right, Albanian friend, let's do disco tree. And I don't know why the Albanians like disco tree. They do. I can't help it.
Yeah. It's
not a rumor. And then the upstairs tree is the tropical tree. The lights don't change. So I'm bored with it. just multicolored lights. Boring.
Now, wait, speaking of buying things, the big question is, did you buy anything on Cyber Monday?
No.
How about Black Friday?
No.
Ooh.
I bought something on Thanksgiving Thanksgiving Day, because the coffee company that we buy our coffee from in Louisiana they usually, like, their biggest sale of the year is now 35% off plus free shipping. So I was like, oh man. So we bought, because we needed some coffee, but I know their schedule. So I knew there was going to be a sale around Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving morning, I see the email. Oh, we're so grateful for our customers. We give thanks for you, 35% off. I'm like, all right, I bought it. Well, now the sale has gone all weekend through Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but I didn't buy anything Black Friday or Cyber Monday. I just bought coffee on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
How about you? Did you go all crazy? Did you buy 8 computers and a big screen TV?
I went Black Friday shopping, kind of.
You went Black Friday shopping?
Yeah. So here's the deal. So after Thanksgiving Day, my wife's sister actually visited us.
Oh.
For like a second Thanksgiving on Black Friday. I made a prime rib.
Nice.
Turned out very nice.
Nice. I'll have to get your recipe.
I've literally been eating prime rib for every meal for like 3 days.
What a flex.
It's pretty great.
That's nice.
So I don't remember how this happened. So we were all decorating, her sister's decorating, and we're all doing a family day. And then, we had the big like second Thanksgiving dinner on Black Friday, and then we're like hanging out, and then they went out to go do something. I ended up online, and there was a really nice, really good, fast, solid state hard drive on sale. I got the that gaming PC, right? That brand new gaming PC that's so good. Well, it has a built-in 1 terabyte solid state drive, which sounds like a lot, but I do video editing. And I also download a lot of video games. Okay. So it was like 2/3, 3/4 full already.
Wow.
I barely use it. So I'm like, I do need some extra storage. They had a crazy sale at Best Buy. So my wife gets back, and she and her sister were going to see a show Friday night. But there's a Best Buy like 17 minutes away. I had an hour before they needed to leave. So I'm like, I think I can do this.
I can make it.
Yeah. So I get in my car. Now, thank God for the internet, because I pull up that bestbuy.com thing and it goes, they're now sold out at your location. And I go, ooh, and I'm sitting in the car in the driveway. I go, ooh, no. Let's check the second closest one. Sold out. Oh, no.
Oh no.
Third closest one in stock. Order soon. Now, I had two options, Brian.
Yes.
I could either buy it right there and say pick up at the store,
Right. And you'd be able to pick it up Saturday.
but I wanted it for Friday night because they were going somewhere. And I had already taken apart my computer to make sure that it had a slot for the new hard drive.
Oh my gosh. So you were already back home. You hadn't taken this computer to your parents, had you?
No. This is back in.
All right. So you're back at home.
So I'm at home. I open up my computer. I look. I go, oh yeah, there's a slot for a hard drive. I can do that. And I was gonna do some gaming Friday night. I was gonna have that barrel-aged beer from Revolution.
Yeah.
I did. And I'm like, all right, so I can order it now for pickup tonight. The risk there is that I get to the store and they haven't had someone grab it and put it in the little customer service area.
Right.
And then it's like in limbo, and then it's a whole
Or their inventory count was off when you checked the website.
right. The other risk I could take is just I don't think someone will buy this in the next 17 or 14. I think it was like 13 or 14 minutes. I will drive there, hope no one bought it, and see if I can get it. So I opted for option 2. I got there. I grabbed the thing. I'm like, great, in and out. Walk over to the line. The line has 60 people in it. They have maybe 2 cashiers because nobody
Oh,
wants to work anymore, Brian.
I've heard that. I've heard people are slothful.
No one wants to work anymore. But check this out. They had a sign, pro tip. There's a point to this story. Pro tip, if
Yes.
you're a Best Buy shopper. They have a sign. You can scan a QR code, download the Best Buy app. There's an option, checkout in store. You tap that option, you scan the barcode of the item that you want to buy, you pay for it right there, and then on your way out, you just show someone at the door the barcode and the item, and they let you go.
Really?
And I scanned it. It's funny. I found instructions really close to the front of the line. And this lady and this dude were like, oh my God, how do we not see that? We've been standing here for 20 minutes. We could have just done it on our phone. I will say it was a little, it did take a little while for me to find it because you have to enable location services.
Oh.
And that's not automatically given as a permission by default on my phone, on my
I don't
Samsung.
think it is on anybody's phone.
Right. So I had to open it and do that in order to see the option. So it did take me it's not like I opened it and it magically worked. It took me a minute to figure out.
Okay.
But once I did it. And then I walked up and I'm kind of looking around and there's the greeter lady. And I go, hey, am I supposed to show you this thing? She goes, oh yeah, if you paid for it, you're good. You can just leave. She didn't even look at my phone.
Meanwhile, I just did a story about how retail theft is up and how Gen Zers, most of them are saying that they stole from self-service. So if I were Best Buy, I would tell those people, no, you really have to pay attention.
Dude, and I immediately regretted paying the full $200 for this solid state drive, which would have been $400. But
well,
still, I
50%
did pay. I just scanned, pay, boom. And I left, and it saved me at least a half hour. And I got home.
Did you make it home in time?
My wife needed to leave at 7:00. I got home at 6:59. Would have been 5 minutes earlier if I had known about the self-checkout right away. But pro tip, if you're in Best Buy and there's a crazy line, you can scan the QR code, download the app, and there's instructions right in store to check out.
Oh
Very
my God.
cool. And
you
Brian,
could probably download the app beforehand, couldn't you?
that'd be even better. And Brian, I loathe self-checkout. But for some reason, this doesn't feel as gross because I'm not like using someone else's POS system and like, putting my grubby hands where everyone else's grubby hands are. It's like at the airport, they did studies. The most bacteria at an airport is not the restroom. It's actually the touchscreen kiosks.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all.
No, touchscreens are filthy and I hate them. And I feel like they're trying to make me a cashier. But when I do it on my phone, I just feel like I'm ordering something from the internet and then being done faster. And that's a big difference. So I felt okay doing it.
Anything to get me out of I didn't leave the house. on Friday or Saturday. There was not a chance. Oh, wait, I take that. Was it? No, it wasn't. Saturday, I didn't leave the house either. We worked and worked. And then Sunday, I was like, oh no, I needed some, I needed that buffalo snow, that fluffy stuff that you put under things for Christmas decorations.
Mm.
And we had always had it. Well, last year we must have used the end of it. And I was like, oh no. And I look up and Michael's has the value bag 50% off. I'm like, all right. Then Debbie goes, well, I kind of like, you had an idea for some garland over the window. I like that idea. I'm like, all right, look on Michael's website, find the one you want. So I go to Michael's, and then I also needed a specialty bulb for this one ceramic Christmas tree. So I did have to leave the house yesterday, but I knew exactly what I needed. I knew right where it was. I get into Michael's. All the sales stuff is right down the main aisle. And man, Michael's was out of control. All the people trying to be crafty for the holidays. So I got but I wasn't going out to a store on Friday or Saturday. There was not a chance in hell. No way. I didn't even want to go to the grocery store. We needed ice. And I was like, hey, Debbie, would you mind, while I'm doing the show, would you mind going to the gas station to get ice? I didn't even want to go to the gas station to get ice. Yeah. Not going to do it.
Well, I'm looking on Cyber Monday deals. One place said, oh, there's, I don't know, Macy's has some 550 thread count sheets for $48 down from 120. Like, okay, I might.
Do you need sheets?
Well, my kid is potty trained, but like his room often smells like a urinal.
Oh, nice.
Because just accidents happen.
Right, because he's a kid.
So like,
or maybe he's just marking his territory. It might not be he might be 100% potty trained, but very aggressive. He's very alpha. And he's sprayed it down. Because once his little sister was born, he's like, hey, if they're going to bring in more interlopers, I got to set myself up. I need them to know this is my spot.
Yeah, we change the sheets a lot. So the answer is yes, maybe we do need sheets.
Okay.
Just to have one less laundry trip once in a while, Yeah,
things happen.
But the other thing is,
does he wear a diaper when he's at night? Or is he completely out of
most of the time
or something?
No, we've tried a couple times with underwear and he's done okay a couple times, but we're just getting there. For nap time, we are getting away with no pull up.
Oh, nice.
And he's doing okay. So he's a smart kid. He's doing really well.
Oh yeah, no, I would listen. I wasn't casting aspersions on your son's bladder control. I was just I don't know what the it's been a long time. I don't remember that kind of stuff anymore. I don't know what age. It's 15, 6, 3. I don't know when they stop.
Yeah.
Sometimes I still dribble, and that's probably the other end of the spectrum though. It's old man issues.
Yeah. Good.
All right. Oh man. It was so nice having a couple days off from school because
how is PE going for you?
Listen.
You teach PE.
I do. That's why I'm in a hoodie. I love the wardrobe. I wear a hoodie and sweatpants every day to work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's expected. And I have a brand new whistle that I wear around my neck. Everything is lovely. PE is much harder than I thought it was going to be. It's crazy. Now, being a classroom teacher is very, very difficult. But in a classroom, you have more of a controlled setting.
Right.
In PE, the kids come into this big gymnasium and they're out of their minds, especially if they're borderline out of their minds in a classroom. Anytime you have to remove them from that classroom, they're going to get even crazier. So, they come in, and this is what I've noticed. And Cody, your son, as you said, very intelligent. Your daughter seems well on her way to being the same thing. I've only When I see her, she still doesn't talk, but she responds to voice commands, and she seems very gregarious.
Sure.
So she's well on her way to being a fine model citizen, just like your son. Please, Cody, please teach your son two things and your daughter. One, teach them to run without constantly falling down. And two, let me say three things. Teach them to run without falling down. Teach them not to slam into other human beings. And by all means, teach them not to run into a wall. And when I say run into a wall, I never thought I was going to have to utter this sentence as much as I've had to in the last month. Stop running into the walls. And it's that voice or harsher that I use because, quite frankly, I'm not going to coddle people who don't have the sense not to run into a wall. And I'm not saying by accident. I'm saying these kids start off at a run and slam into the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, a wall that's blue, bright blue. They can't miss it.
Now, hold on, but not the bleachers, because I used to love to run into the bleachers. That was fun.
Well, these walls are where the tables go in. So it's the same kind of thing as the bleachers, because the tables and the benches come out of the wall for no, Mike, the walls are not padded. This is not an asylum, even though I wish I was teaching PE in an asylum with padded walls and padded floors. So they run into, but they run in not just with their hands to tap it. They run in like their heads, boom, because so I had to have 2 weeks ago, because last week we only had 2 days of school. 2 weeks ago, before every class, I had to give a lecture about keeping your head up when you run. Because I wish I was exaggerating when I say we can start a warm-up where they're supposed to run in a circle or we're playing a tag game. And within 30 seconds, somebody is up at me crying and asking to go to the nurse. So I had to give a little lesson. And I had them all sitting down, and this was from kindergarten up to 5th grade. I said the same thing. I go, look around the room here. Look around the gym. Can you people see everybody? And they're like, yeah. I go, can you see me? Like, yeah. And let's stop running into each other. Because I'm tired of sending people to the nurse. Nobody else is going to the nurse. I don't want, and if so I would ask somebody to stand up. One of the guys stand up, and I'd say, I'm going to touch you on the shoulder. Is that okay? And they'd say yes. And I'd brush by them. Brush by them, barely touching them. I go, did that hurt? No. Can you raise your arm? And they'd go, yeah. I go, raise it. Can you wiggle your fingers? Yes. I go, then do you think you should be coming crying to me that somebody ran into you? If that happens to you? No. Okay, then. I said, and one more thing. Stop running into the walls. It's like I am in an insane asylum. And it's a different level of difficulty than when I was in 1st grade last year. But it is like I come home exhausted. So I'm on my feet all day. I'm dealing with all these kids who they're only in there for 35 minutes a pop.
Ooh.
But they're out of their gourds. And today I was supposed to start them off. This was what grade? They're 4th grade. Locomotive reps. So I lay out cones around the middle of the gym, and they are supposed to just jog around the outside. And we have a fancy high-tech countdown clock. I turned my back for 1 second to close the gym door. Honest to God, I looked away for less than 15 seconds. I turned back around, and a girl is crying. A 4th grader. Like, what's it? What? How did this? What? We just started. Because my patience is like this at this point, and I still have to go to the end of February. I like, what happened? So-and-so ran into me and I fell. I go, okay. Do you need to go to the nurse? Because at this point, I don't care. Anybody who's hurt, You just go to the nurse. She's gonna give you an ice cube. Everything's gonna be fine.
An
That's
ice
not.
cube.
That's all they get. You could replace the nurse. I should just bring in an igloo cooler and put a nurse's uniform on it, and it would be the same thing. Because you send a kid to the nurse, and they go, "Did you drink some water? Yes. Do you have to go to the bathroom? No. Here's an ice cube." And the kids come back, whether it's their eye, their ear, they got a tumor, they broke their leg. It's an ice cube. And so she went to the thing, and I again, they're running into each other. They're knocking each other down. People are diving on the floor. Like, what is going on? So that's how PE is going. I've learned some fun games. We're still in our throwing. We're in our throwing quarter where we're teaching throwing. So today, for the upper grades, we were learning about frisbees and throwing frisbees. And now, next time they come back, I have to teach them. We're going to play a game, a frisbee game, hotspot frisbee. It's going to be very exciting. And by very exciting, I mean I'm going to try to explain it about 15 times. And then I'll say, does anybody have any questions? And of course, the questions will be, what time is lunch? Can I run into the wall? No. So those will be the questions. But yeah, that's how PE is treating me, Cody. It's exhausting.
Do you play Indian pinball?
I don't know what that is. And the word Indian is frowned upon.
I don't know if it's...
We play Native American bocce.
Well, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay. No, we don't play that. We've played today in the upper grades. We just, like I said, we did frisbee and locomotive warm-ups. For warm-ups in the kindergarten and second grade classes, I did fruit tag and then Oscar the Grouch. Those were two things we did in class today.
I'm Googling Indian pinball to see if it is racist.
Well, if it is, then I'll definitely play it. And all the kids want to play dodgeball. Not all the kids. Only the real aggressive psychopath kids want to play dodgeball.
So in Rockford at Martin Luther King Junior Elementary School, where I went, there was a game at the gym called Indian Pinball. And you know how like the basketball court, it's like a basketball court, right?
I know basketball court.
You put down 3 bowling pins, one at the back corner of each side and one in the middle.
Got it.
Right. So you got 3 bowling pins at the end. And then one team, like the half court is where you could go. One team is on one side, the other team is on the other side. And you would throw the ball, you would throw these dodgeball or the bouncy balls, the best like kickballs. You throw them and you would try to knock down the pin or hit a person in the leg, or if you hit a person anywhere other than like the head, you couldn't aim for the head. If you hit a person, they were out. If you threw a ball and they caught the ball, you were out.
Right. Dodgeball rules.
It was the most fun game I've probably ever played in my life.
We can't play any game where you're throwing it at it. We have a game, Kingpin, where there's 7 bowling pins on each end of the floor, and the half court line is the divider. And teams are trying to throw to knock the other team's pins down. But as much as I tell them we're not throwing at each other, boy, a lot of kids get hit in the face.
That's kind of weird.
I don't know how it happens.
That seems wrong.
Well, yeah, and I can only yell so much. Because then I go to the office and I was like, oh, they're like, how's it going? I go, oh, it's going. Oh, yeah, we hear you. I'm like, well, it's a big cavernous, echoey room. Of course you hear me. So now I've started closing the doors so they can't hear me. And I also have told the kids, I'm not going to yell over you. A lot of times I just stand. I just stand at the front. They come in, they're all goofing around, and I just stand there. And I wait. And then about half of them will go, oh, Mr. Noonan's not talking. And then they'll pay attention. And then I'll wait. And then they'll start telling the other kids to shut up. And I'll wait. And I'll go, guys, at some point I go, we're already 7 minutes in. You're only in here for 35 minutes. And then I'll wait.
When is the Thunderdome unit?
That's when I not only close the doors, but I lock them. And I bring out all the plastic hockey sticks and batons from the PE office. Mm-hmm. And I just let them go. That might be my last week.
Okay.
So It's fun. It's fun
You
and
can do a
profitable.
war games. You could do a war games match.
All these kids think everything is a war game.
Huh. But
Everything
they're not
is
allowed to throw balls at each other. Very odd.
not at each other. No, because that's bullying. It can be seen as bullying. Because think about it, in dodgeball, who'd you pick on? The weaker kids or the fatter kids?
Do you know what war games is?
No.
Dusty
The movie
Rhodes.
with Matthew Broderick?
It's not with Matthew Broderick.
Okay. That's the
Do you
second
know-
time I brought that up. You should watch that movie.
Do you know the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes?
Of course I do. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and his son, Glittery Boy Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes
Dustin Rhodes.
and Cody Rhodes.
And Cody Rhodes. There's 2 Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes is like the most popular good guy in WWE right now.
Okay.
He's like crazy popular.
Who was the one that wore all the glitter?
Gold Dust.
Gold Dust.
Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin. Okay. Yeah. I remember the American Dream. He had a speech impediment. Loved it.
Yes. According to my friends who are obsessed with wrestling, Dusty Rhodes had a penchant for creating convoluted matches with complicated rules. One is called War Games. It was invented in WCW. They put 2 rings next to each other. They butt them up next to each other, and then they put 1 steel cage around the 2 rings.
Okay.
It's dumb. Because then you have a pay-per-view, and the normal matches just happen in 1 ring that just happen to have a cage around half of it. And then the War Games match is just 2 rings next to each other, and people enter at different times, but the match doesn't start until everyone's in the match. It's dumb. But that's why I went to Survivor Series, but it was called Survivor Series, WWE Survivor Series War Games.
Oh, God.
Because there were 2 War Games matches.
How were those?
Instead of your traditional Survivor Series matches, which are Survivor Series match traditionally is a 5-on-5 tag team match, and it's elimination rules. So you get pinned, you're out, the team keeps going. War Games is first pinfall or submission wins the match.
Oh, Jesus.
But the match doesn't start till all 10 people are in the ring. It's weird. But anyway,
No, we're not playing that. They have a hard enough time with the simplest rules. It's crazy. Let me segue out of there. I want to give a quick holiday pick to click,
please,
because this is very adult. I'm tired of talking about children. I'm tired of talking about the children at school. I want to tell everybody who's an adult that I saw one of the funniest shows I've ever seen the other night. Friday night, I went to Theater Wit on Belmont Avenue in Chicago.
I used to live right around the corner from there. I love Theater Wit.
Yes, Theater Wit is great. They have 3 separate small stages.
They have great shows. Really good show. I've never seen a bad show there.
Well, this one, if you've ever sat down after Christmas Eve and you thought to yourself, I wonder whatever happened to Cindy Lou Who after that fateful night of meeting the Grinch. Well, then you need to go see Who's Holiday. Because Who's Holiday is a 1-woman show where Cindy Lou Who regales us with what happened to her after that night. After the night she met the Grinch. I laughed like I was insane. It is hilarious. It is raunchy as hell. It is surprisingly poignant at parts. And it all takes place in Cindy Lou's trailer, which, not a spoiler, she got from her uncle. But it's her life from the night that the Grinch came in to now, and all the travails. And Veronica Garza, rather, is the woman who brings Cindy Lou Who to life. And it's like I said, it's a 1-woman show. There were 2 times where she sang, and her voice was phenomenal. Now, this is the 3rd year they've mounted this show at Theater Wit. And it's Cody, you know this is going to be my favorite part when I tell you it was only an hour. Fantastic.
Very nice.
Fantastic.
You stayed awake the whole time?
Oh, I was more than awake the whole time. I was excited because I knew we were going out to eat afterward. But I would not. Well, one, it's a tiny theater. If you fall asleep, she could have just punched me in the face. But I was having such a good time. It was so much fun. Definitely not for children or the squeamish, or if you're going to be very judgmental. It's not the way to go. But if you just want to have a good time, and if you've grown up reading The Grinch and watching The Grinch and listening to The Grinch, well, now this is a fitting epilogue to a holiday classic. So Theater Wit is where it's at. It's called Whose Holiday? And it is, there's the trailer. Look at that. That's Cindy Lou in her trailer. She's all grown up, and she's lived a life. That's all I'll say. She has lived a life.
That's amazing. I wish that
it was so much fun.
I would like to see that, actually.
I got an invite, and then I was like, oh, it starts at 7. I get off the air at 6. Can I do it? Yes. So Debbie was ready. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you all again Monday. Good night. Click off, boop, out the door. We're in the car, and the big joke was, oh, we're a mile and a half away. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. And the nice thing is, Theater Wit has a parking lot. $10, not bad for downtown parking. And you can park. It was great. It was such a fun show. So you guys I think you and the bride would love it.
I think she would enjoy that quite a bit, actually.
I tire of the traditional holiday fare because I've seen it all. I've done it all.
Have you seen a Klingon Christmas Carol?
I haven't, but it sounds like something I'd want to. I got an invite to a hip hop nutcracker, but unfortunately I cannot go because I'm working.
Ooh, that's rough.
It might be rough. I don't know.
All right. Well, the
Who's Holiday, see that.
Whose Holiday plays through when?
Probably January. Like I said, this is the third year they've done it at Theater Wit.
Oh. Wow.
It's a raunchy riff. That's what they're calling it. A raunchy riff.
All right. I'll see if I can make a date night out of it.
Make a date night. Oh, then we went here's a blast from the past, Cody. We went to Kuma's Corner.
Oh yeah, let's go, dude.
It was, man. And it was nice because we got there, we walked right in, got a table, heavy metal was blaring, Deadpool was on the TV. Nice. I was like, this is all right. And Debbie looked a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. But she hung tough, you know. I said, are you nervous? Why would I be nervous? Just because there's heavy metal? And I'm like, that's exactly why. And yeah, the burgers were great. It's been, God, since the Insatiable Insomniacs went there years and years ago. So we had a good time. And we were out till we didn't get home, Cody. It was like we're club kids. We didn't get home till like 10 o'clock.
Oh my gosh.
I know. 10 o'clock. It was even the dogs were like, where have you people been? You know?
How did you stay awake?
I don't know, because this was on a day where I had already worked around the house. I had done radio. I had seen a show. Now I'm out till 10 o'clock. Oh, man. Call the police. I was out of control. But, yeah, that's it. I'm done now. I'm done now for the holiday season.
Yeah, I would imagine you are.
Yikes. You're terrifying me.
Why?
Anything else you wanted to cover?
So I don't know if you know this, but CM Punk has come back to WWE.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He's been gone a while, right? Like what, 9 years?
9 years.
Wow. I'm sorry you weren't able to be there.
Well, I've got some news for you.
Please share.
Light is so bright. It's so bright. Hold on.
I'm just letting you entertain yourself.
Look, just the dragon. The dragon's the new co-host. Look at that.
All right. So, Dragon, what do you think about this CM Punk?
Do you know what I just did with it? the dragon.
You should stay out of the picture if you're just going to do the voice.
I'm the dragon.
You don't sound as I thought your voice would be deeper and scarier, Dragon.
You know what? I had to walk
Oh,
away
my.
from the camera, but I feel so. Here's the thing: I take all my work calls from this standing desk converter. I do sit at work. I have a chair.
Okay.
You can't see it. It doesn't matter. I have a chair, but I take all my things standing up. But I have a lens cover on this webcam because
like this one.
They're watching. They're watching.
They are watching. I don't like it.
So I've got a lens cover, so I was covered up. And whenever I walk away from my desk, because I feel like if I take 2 steps back and walk in any direction, I look super fat. Like I just look like it's put on like 200 pounds. It is crazy.
They say the camera adds 10. You're going with
literally adds 250 pounds. I'm not even kidding. Like if I took like 2 steps over that way, I would look bigger than like my closet. It's crazy. It's
come on, Chubbs. Let's see.
What?
As he throws something in his mouth, as he eats a snack.
No, I'm just chewing on my lip. It's a bad habit.
All right.
Do you know how much CM Punk I have to watch tonight?
A lot. Well, because you weren't there, were you? I heard he came back to WWE. Is that right?
Yeah.
Really? Well, I bet there's a story there.
I actually have at Comic-Con one year, I got a artist's drawing of CM Punk holding the WWE Championship spinner belt around his shoulder. And it's in my basement. And now I kind of want to put it back up.
You got to bring it up. Your kid would love it. Is he getting into wrestling? I know he has some action figures.
He is absolutely not. No, you know what's so funny about that? All right. I know we're like at time, but there's so that little like WWE ring action set my wife got. So we already had the Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bray Wyatt and Mankind action figures. My brother Jason gets random action figures for everyone in the family every Christmas. I think they're all like $1 on discount, but like whatever.
Yeah.
So we already have those, but she got the ring, and the ring came with that table, right? So the table's easily breakable, right? You just match you line up 2 little tabs and you put it together, and then you can break it really easily. What's so funny is he's never seen a minute of wrestling in his life, and he just intuitively knew what you need to do is have one bad man's, he calls them the bad man's.
The bad man's.
One bad man's throws the other bad man's through the table. And this is like, it's like an archetypal ingrained natural instinct in DNA. Human beings in our DNA. So he already knew how wrestling works without having seen any of it. And I know he hasn't seen it because we always close all the baby gates.
Oh, yeah. So
he can't get downstairs to see it when it's on.
Wow, but he knows there's bad mans. They know they need to get thrown through a table.
Well, I told you there was one time he came down the stairs that we didn't notice when we were watching wrestling, and it was just a promo. It was like MJF and somebody else 2 people were yelling at each other. And we said, "Hey, bud, like what did you see?" And he would say, "There were bad mans on the TV." And we go, "Yeah, what were they doing?" "There was a bad man on the TV, and he wasn't having a shirt."
He wasn't having a shirt.
That's our favorite thing to quote now is the bad mans were not having a shirt.
Bad mans were not having a shirt. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad somewhere in his primordial brain he knows how to wrestle. He's not playing.
He does.
Nice. All right.
Well, I'm glad I could finish this podcast with my crappy mic on my desk.
You did great.
You
adapted.
Sounds a lot better if I actually hold it up to my mouth.
Wow, it does.
Yeah, but I didn't feel like doing that the entire time.
No, I don't blame you. But
sorry.
Wow, that sounds great.
Does it really?
Yeah.
That's good. It's an Audio-Technica ATR 2500, actually.
The nice thing is we can hear you when you put it like that.
I know. But I will figure out my Windows. So I think I figured out my gaming PC Windows settings because it no longer drops randomly.
Well, that's good.
We'll see. But the laptop apparently has regressed because I have not had this problem with the laptop, which I I do a podcast for a startup, and I've done 23 interviews with like investors, like VC investors and startup founders. And I've never had the connection drop in any of those interviews until today. It dropped right before the interview, and then we just I couldn't even do Realities May Vary from there. So I got to figure out the laptop situation, but okay.
All right. Well,
Apparently
good luck. You adapted, huh?
What? Nothing.
What? Nothing? Huh? What?
It's Christmas.
Okay. I know. I can see the dragon's hat.
Thank you.
All right. Listen.
Anything else, Brian?
I'm done. I got to go. I just found out I have to pick up a couple extra classes tomorrow because the art teacher called in sick.
Our teacher doesn't teach gym.
Right. But the teachers still need their planning period. So we have to, the music teacher and myself are going to have to pick up the art teacher's classes. Which.
Good luck.
Thanks. Tuesday's already a jam-packed day. But what are you going to do? Brother got to get paid.
Literally nothing.
I wish. Don't tell anybody. Today I had an hour between classes. I fell asleep for 45 minutes in my office. I set an alarm for 15 minutes before I was supposed to have the next class in. The alarm rang for 7 minutes before I heard it and woke up.
Wow.
Yep. Nobody knew. Mr. Noonan was back and ready to go. Let's play vegetable tag.
After my friends left yesterday, because they spent the night after Survivor Series War Games.
Yeah.
After my friends left, my wife was teaching yoga downtown. So it was just me and the kids. And legit, it was like 2 or 3 or something. No, it was later because she got home and then actually went out again to do some stuff. It was like maybe 4 or 5, and I laid down on the couch. My daughter was asleep upstairs. My son was right there in the living room with me. And every time I lay down on the couch, he puts pillows on me. He's like, I'm going to put pillows on you. He just covers me in pillows. He thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. And after he covered me, I was like, I'm going to take a little nap, bud. And he was just like sitting down and playing, and I just passed out for like 20 minutes. And I've never done that around my son. And he's never respected me enough to do that. Let me do it. So we both, I think, reached a milestone.
You're growing. You're growing as a pair, as a father-son duo.
We are. He's the best. Tonight I was like, I had a lot of fun with you, bud, tonight. Did you have fun with me? And he goes, I love you, Daddy. I just melted. I was like, oh, God, you're so sweet.
That is beautiful.
He was so sweet. He's been a daddy's boy lately, and I don't think his mom likes that. But I am eating it up. It's so fun.
Yeah, because for a while he wasn't a daddy's boy at all.
No. Forever. For his life. For as long as he's existed, he's not been a daddy's boy. But now he is. I'm okay
now
with
he
it.
is. Take advantage of it while you can. Until he gets to the age where he thinks he can fight you.
Yeah, he could probably take me already.
He's rough. I like him. He's tough. Tough kid.
Fair.
All right. We got to go. We'll be back. Listen, I know the schedule's been a little wonky with us here. There were times when one or both of us were sick. We've been focusing on getting the new podcast up and running. So we hope that you will check out Crafty Brewers, Tales Behind Craft Beer. You can go to craftybrewerspod.com. If you want to follow us on Instagram, it's crafty_brewers_pod. The podcast is available everywhere. Spotify, you can watch it. YouTube, you can watch it. Everywhere else, you can listen to it. Download it, like it, share it. Give us 5-star reviews. We would appreciate all of those lovely things. And not for nothing, we're running a Cyber Monday sale at craftybrewerspod.com because did I mention, we have sweet-ass merch. A lot of cool stuff. So if you go over there now, we're running a special, always free shipping from Crafty Brewers, but we're also doing 15% off. So go check that out. You'll like it.
And I'll add, if you have any beer lover in your life, it's not just merch that's like the logo of our podcast. It's like funny phrases about beer, like funny shirts about craft beer.
There's baseball jerseys or baseball shirts with different teams. Are you team lager? Are you team IPA? Are you team all kinds of things.
Yeah, like they're really fun, and like I'm legitimately probably gonna buy a bunch of shirts for Christmas presents,
Nice.
for the people in my life who like beer. Because again, even if they don't even know what a podcast is, they'll enjoy it, and it's fun merch, and it's
Yeah.
unique, and it does support our show and this show just by association.
Right.
So, it's like you're buying from a small business instead of like buying some random Amazon thing.
And it's quality stuff. Can we say that too?
It is
It's quality
high
stuff.
quality. Like Brian and Catherine chose a very good vendor that's not going to give you like crap shirts. Like they're good quality.
Yeah. And you get to pick. There's a lot of different styles, a lot of different colors, a lot of different sizes, from wee people to big people like myself. You can find something. So just go check it out. But most importantly, enjoy the podcast. We've had great guests. Cody has done an unbelievable job editing both the video and the audio. They look good. They sound great. They are just we're really proud of it. So take a minute. Just go check it out. We'd appreciate it. And it's free too, just like this one, So buy a shirt.
Free is nice. Yeah, we've never asked for any money on
never
Reality
asked for
Today.
money.
We don't have a Patreon. So
Yeah.
if you've ever thought like, man, I wish I could like give them $5 for the like 3 years of free shows they've done, just buy a shirt instead. We'll get that $3 that way.
Plus, you get a shirt. It's not like you're just throwing money to us and we're gonna go, buy some opium and get high.
Or a mug or a hat.
There's mugs. There's my mom. I gave my mom one of the mugs, the prototype mug. She couldn't be happier. The coffee mug is top-notch.
Hell yeah.
Check that out. Now we got a tote bag, phone case. We're like a Turkish bazaar over there at craftybrewerspod.com.
Yeah.
So come in, no haggling. Prices are set. Pricks fix. That's it. All right.
Notice how many times my internet went out since I switched to the Mac.
That's right.
Interesting. Same internet, different computer. I wonder if it's Windows' fault. Bill Gates, microchip that bitch.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the show. Tell your friends. Share the episode. I'm Brian Noonan. I gotta go. Cody, any final thoughts?
I'm high. Bye.